Gentlemen, my name is Nena and I will be your MC for today. On behalf of Tune Protect Group, I would like to warmly welcome all of you to our first Hybrid Corporate Day event. Allow me to make a few announcements before we commence. If you parked in the building, you may validate your ticket for a flat rate of 5 ringgit at the concierge office situated at the right-hand side of this function room. Washrooms are located on the left-hand side of this function room. You may turn left from this room and take another left to the washrooms. Should you require any help throughout this event, feel free to reach out to our crew members who are on standby outside and ready to assist you. Complimentary free flow of coffee and tea is provided throughout the event, hence do feel free to bring some refreshments to your table. Since this is a hybrid event, kindly note that the proceeding today is broadcasted live over YouTube and replays will be available after the event ends. Disclaimer: the information presented today does not constitute as advice or an invitation to purchase or trade in the shares of Tune Protect Group. With regards to any projections or forward-looking statements mentioned, no assurance or warranty is given that the future events will occur, that company projections will be achieved, or that the company's assumptions are correct. With the housekeeping matters out of the way, Let us start with today's agenda. As you can observe from our event headline, Embedded Insurance Simplified by Tech, the focus for today's corporate day is very much centered on technology. Tech over the past few years has really come to the forefront, especially during the pandemic, when people were staying at home and making purchases off the internet. A survey study done by McKinsey suggested that COVID-19 have accelerated the adoption of digital technology by several years, and that many of these changes are here to stay. With this in mind, we at TuneProtect are constantly looking at how we can leverage on technology to enhance our customer experience, be it the purchasing process, renewal process, or even the claims process. Ultimately, it drives us towards our goal of simplifying insurance. With that in mind, I would like to share with all of you here today this video.
Your morning routine dramatically affects your levels of success in every single area of your life. From the moment we wake, and there you have it, the overused alarm clock scene for two different lives we are about to follow. Meet Malik. Malik is an amazing father of one, a corporate high flyer, and a part-time biryani critic. Still looks super fit though. Oh yeah. Then there's Lucy. She just started her graphic design career out of university. She's cool, but Lucy has to down 2 cups of coffee before any human interaction though. Careful! What? As you may have noticed from his bicep, Malik takes care of his body a lot. And by a lot, I mean a lot.
1,000!
Well, that's just for the camera. Lucy, on the other hand, takes a calmer approach to moving her body.
Well, a good physique doesn't come from working out alone. The food you eat plays a huge part as well. So I cook for myself most of the time.
Someone's had their coffee, it seems.
Yes. Nothing beats good coffee and healthy food.
How do you even have time for that?
Balancing work and being a dad ain't a simple task. My wife asked me to take a break from time to time too. If I don't take care of my mind, who else would?
Absolutely! As they say, the key to a healthy life is...
It's a healthy mind.
That's a nice cut.
Thanks!
Okay, I know both of you are healthy and all, but what if happens? Are you insured?
Oh
Well now, everything can be done on your mobile. Anytime, anywhere. All at your fingertips. Just download the app, a few taps and you are covered. 3 minutes to buy, 3 minutes to submit claims, and 100% digital.
That's all?
Easy, right?
Yeah!
Getting protected doesn't need to be complicated. Peace of mind is now a tap away. TuneProtect. Insurance simplified.
And now let's put our hands together to welcome our Group CEO, Rohit Nambiar, to the stage to deliver the keynote address. Please welcome Rohit.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for taking your time. I know the traffic was quite bad this morning. Really appreciate it. When I look at the video, it reminds me about food all the time, the importance of food in our life. But anyway. Okay, so this is an event which is designed to be slightly different because we want to show you our tech capabilities. But before I go into the tech capabilities, I do want to talk a little bit about why is TuneProtect different. We are actually a multi-line insurer, which means we can actually activate multiple markets for partners in one go. Like for AirAsia, for example, we cover all the markets they fly to and fly from. With Air Arabia or Salam Air, we do the same. There are other partners with whom we can activate multiple markets because we have insurance partners in several countries. So the beauty about global partnerships is, which is where we're going quite heavy, and you will see a lot of that in our numbers, is we are able to tap this in one go because we have the tech capability, we have the insurance, reinsurance, and now we also are looking at digital life, as you know. I think for me, something that's very close to my heart is the 333 promise, which you will hear from me later. We have a customer promise. You can buy from us in 3 minutes. You can be serviced in 3 hours on a working day. And we will pay your claim within 3 days for retail claims. Today, 95% of our claims is paid within 3 days. So that, for me, is our biggest differentiator. Find me one insurer in Asia who can commit that to you. Do you know with our critical illness product, we actually give you a fine if we delay your claim? So that's the extent at which we are able to disrupt, because obviously there's technology backing us. The third part of it is we really are an ASEAN and Middle East-based insurtech. I know everybody will say there's nobody like us, of course. But in our case, we are somewhere neither a pure insurer nor a tech player. You look at some of the insurtechs in the market, they're largely tech players, right? You look at the big ones like Zhong'an, they're tech players. What we are is we are both. We are an insurer as well as a technology player. And that's why we can use our same platform across multiple markets. So today we've deployed our platform across several countries, which Prasanta will talk about later. And the economies of scale will really kick in as we deploy this to more and more markets and more partners. We have a deep focus on Gen Z and Gen M. Why do I say this? The traditional insurers' focus is on high net worth and mid net worth individuals. That's why they have huge agency force, huge bank assurance workforce. Why? Because that was their model. I have nothing wrong with that, right? But our model is we are saying a 50-year-old in Malaysia or Thailand or Middle East is not buying insurance from Tune Protect. But I can break the Lazada, the Shopee generation. Because for them, it is not that important to have a brand which has been in the country for 100 years, 70 years, etc. And they need different modes of distribution, which is simpler, affordable, and stackable. And that's why our understanding of Gen Z and Gen M is very deep, and our teams can share some insights with you. We have a simple differentiation in partnership. Why have we won 60 over partners in the last 2 years? The reason is very simple. I always say there is nobody who can execute faster than us. Of course, subject to regulatory, I mean in control factors. There's nobody who can execute faster than us. I always say this story, but I'm going to repeat for those of you who've not heard it. When the Langkawi sandbox was started, we were informed on a Friday evening that we are one of the 3 chosen insurers. Saturday morning, we had a call, and they said the minister is going to do the launch, blah, blah, blah. And Wednesday, they said they'll do it manually. We said, no, we will go live on Wednesday. And we were the only insurer to go live on Wednesday at 2 a.m. It's a different thing that Colin and team didn't sleep for 3 days, but that the client doesn't see. But the other 2 insurers chosen, big names, hadn't gone live in 4 months. We took 3 days. That's our speed of execution. That's our biggest differentiation. And a lot of times in this rush of looking at companies all in a certain prism in Asia, we miss what you have here. It's essentially a Malaysian-based insurtech. It's essentially something that's driving very high growth. It's essentially something that's disrupting, innovating the market every single day. We breed disruption. We are not BAU. That's the fundamental culture that we have in this organization. The last but not least, for millennials and zillennials, ESG is super important. So is it for investors. But it's very, very important for millennials and zillennials. Why? Because they believe, Gen Z believes that we've given them a generation which is worse than what we got from our fathers and parents. And they genuinely feel we have given them a worse place to live in. For them, sustainability is vital. And for us, sustainability is not a regulatory tick box. We just won the ESG award as well, but for us, sustainability is something we breathe. And you will see that later. You will see none of my team carrying paper. They simply won't, because that's not our culture. Okay? So what was our plan? Our plan was very simple. We wanted to be a lifestyle insurer that everyone loves. We want to be obsessed with customer NPS. We want to go out there and say, you should love your insurer. Now you might say, what's so great about it? Do you know insurance is one of the least trusted industries across all countries in the world. Insurers and healthcare providers are hated by customers because they think we're a bunch of crooks. We are not. It's just that we are so complex. Making things simple is very easy, very complex. That's why people make things complex, because that's the easiest thing to do. It's kind of counterintuitive, but that's the world we live in. So we came up with 3 priorities. The first one was we want to be NPS focused. Second is we actually want to deliver our business through digital partnerships. And obviously some of you are here who we work with, and we're very proud to have you here. And there are many others as well. And obviously use the AirAsia ecosystem, which has 75 million over customers. And third, obviously, is deploy this platform across different countries. We focus on 3 lines of business. We can't do everything. So we focus on 3 lines of business. You might ask me why these 3 lines of business. Very simple. For Gen Z and millennials, only 3 lines of products really matter. They want to travel. They really want to become entrepreneurs. So that's why SME. And they're super health conscious because of Instagram and other generation that we live in. And you all know Malaysia is not the most healthiest place. 48% Malaysians are overweight. So that is also a reality the new generation realizes far more than the generation before, which is why we focus on SME, health, and lifestyle. Okay, moving on. We had made 8 commitments to the market. 8 commitments, yeah? What is unique, some of the analysts told us, was we made a promise in January 2021. Every quarter we report back. You can see all the reports in our website. And we report back every quarter on the 8 commitments. Yes, our share price is pretty bad. Yes, we haven't broken even, but it's a journey. You look at Lemonade, you look at Policy Bazaar, you look at Root, who has broken even? If you really want to be an Insurtech player, it's about growth. And to drive that growth, disruption, innovation, to build that value, you have to go through this journey. And these were the 8 commitments we made, and I want to tell you the summary. Find me an insurer which is growing at 85%. Find me one insurer who's growing at 85% today in Asia. We are consistently growing at 60, 70, 80, 90%. Go back and look at the last 4 quarters. That's the story. 35, 100, 91, 85. That's our growth. Why? Because we are disruptive. Obviously, that pace of growth has some growth pains. My 7-year-old, 8-year-old plays a lot of sport. He does wake up in the night saying, my leg is paining. It's part of growth pain. He's growing, as simple as that. You look at one of the things we said, we will retain more business. If you look at the past, we were pretty much a glorified reinsurance broker. What does that mean? We only kept 35% of our business. The rest of the business, we gave it away to the market. Today, we retain 70% of our business. Okay. List of partners, I will let Janet do her story. But I think today we have 60 partners, and you will hear more and more. We just signed up an airline in Eastern Europe, Arna Air. You're going to hear about 2 more airlines from us very soon. And these are global partnerships. So you're really starting to see these numbers flow through. As you have seen, I remember when I was talking about partnership last year, Q2, Q3, people said, where are the numbers? I said, wait, it's going to come. Because partnerships take 3 to 6 months to execute. And you saw the numbers spike up from Q4. And that's our story. It's about growth. We are not your traditional insurance stock, full stop. We are an Insurtech, which means we will deliver growth, which means we will deliver innovation, which means we will take you to a place which other insurers cannot, and that's the story we are selling. We want to improve our efficiency, right? So our expense ratio has dropped significantly. Why? Because while we are investing more, the fact is we are growing faster than our investments, which is also a great story. And obviously, this is where the profitability will come in. Yes, our combined ratio is above 100%, but that's the story. We have to bring it down, as we get more efficient. We want to evolve our tech arm into a profit center, which is what you're going to talk about today later. We are the first Malaysian insurer to get approval for cloud, to put it on a cloud. You all know how difficult it is to get these regulatory approvals, 10.5 months of pain. We went through to get it. We are the first insurer to get it. Our system today is used in over 60 countries. People don't even realize. As I said before, because we are multi-generational, multi-line business, so we can support across the globe. We have a new core which we are launching. And last but not least, we are very scalable. And I'm not going to talk about that later. Vietnam is a big part of our journey, thanks to our partner here, Bao Viet. Dirk is here from Bao Viet. We are now with Bao Viet, our partner there. We've activated the largest e-wallet. We are activating a digital payment company. We're activating a ride-hailing taxi, working with an airline. So we're starting to see these partnerships, grow up. And you saw the Vietnam numbers are starting to grow as well. We have a mobile-first approach, which you will see later with Colin, with the mobile app. We want to be an NPS leader in our markets. I told you before. That's your answer. 2 years back, we were at minus 16%. Today, we are at plus 38%. This is the some of the market leaders. So you can see in 2 years, we are moving up significantly. So the younger people realize us a lot more. This is the 333 promise. I told you that 3 minutes you can buy from us, 3 hours we will service you, and in 3 days we'll pay your claim. Do you know 91% of the claims during flood was paid within 3 days? Today, 95% of our claims is paid within 3 days. Do you know we have 2-hour claims in Malaysia for claims below 3,000? We have parametric claim, which means you might get your claim before your flight even lands. Because we get the data and we are able to do the parametric claim that we have. And we are fully paperless. Okay. Employee NPS, because I'll give you a few things about the culture we have. We want people to fail, because failure is the best way to succeed. Because disruption will bring you failure. So not all our projects succeed. But that's okay. When you have one big success, you have 7 failures, that's life. That's what we're all behind. Our employee NPS is at plus 26, as you can see here. And this is all done independent, yeah? We don't run these studies. And more new hires are Gen Z. You will see a much younger talent pool. Of course, don't look at me and think that's the age of our company. I'm on the other side of the average age of the company already. ESG, big focus for us. We just won the EDGE ESG awards, and there are a few others we won as well. But I want to make a few statements, right? We've made a few commitments again, and we've stuck to the commitment. We said 50% of our leadership will be women. Today we are close to 40%. 50% of our board are women. We have 0 paper in the company for all in-control processes. Again, find me an insurer with 0 paper. We have stated we'll be getting out of coal. We have stated we'll be getting out of tobacco. We give 6 ringgit to a charity for every digital policy you buy online except travel and PA. So we are embedding charity element into our insurance distribution as well. I have a bit of, I think it's a great achievement for an insurer our size. At the Digital Insurer Awards coming up on the 8th of December, it was not one of those awards where you buy a table and you get an award, yeah. So this one you had to nominate. They went through a choosing process. After that, they are doing a voting process, and then we present, and then people vote. There are 4 insurers shortlisted for the final. The 3 others are $10 billion plus in valuation. We are a sub-$100 million company. It's really a David versus Goliath story. And what are they looking at? Digital fundamentals. And the fact that we are one of the 4 finalists after the panel has reviewed, the voting is done, tells you, because as you would figure out, 500 people cannot vote a company to be in the top 4. These companies have thousands of people. So this is the power of what we are doing. We're doing something very unique. We are highly scalable, highly flexible. We can open multiple markets, and we are growing extremely strong as we go. Okay, so I shall stop there, and thank you so much for taking your time, and hand it over to Nena.
Thank you, Rohit, for setting the tone for the session. We will now move on to our next presenter, the head of e-commerce for Tune Protect Group, Roy Siew. Allow me to share a bit about Roy before we begin. Roy joined us as head of e-commerce in May this year. Prior to this role, he was the head of digital at Berjaya Sompo and AXA General Insurance. For the past 8 years, while working with these two companies, his team managed to exceed e-commerce sales target every single year and launched numerous new products for digital direct and partnership distribution. In his current role, Roy is tasked to support Tune Protect's digital growth ambitions within the region and beyond. Please put your hands together as we welcome Roy onto the stage as he shares about Tune Protect e-commerce at a glance.
Good morning, everyone. Okay, so today what I'm covering is on Tune Protect's e-commerce. Tune Protect e-commerce at a glance. We are the only general insurance in Malaysia that has more than 10 products sold online. So as today, we have 13 products sold online. Later, I'll just run through a list of products. And we are the only insurer that sells a dental insurance. And all our products, all the 13 products, is stackable. So in a way, what stackable means here, you can actually get a basic plan and then add on according to your needs and requirements. So we don't want to put in insurance products that customers are forced to buy, so they have an option to choose. In terms of our e-commerce products, we have classified under 5 categories. On the motor category, we have car insurance, and we have motorcycle insurance, which was just recently launched this month. On the health insurance, we have dental insurance, the only one that is doing it in Malaysia. We have critical illnesses, and Pro Health Medical, which is our e-medical, which covers hospitalization. On the travel piece, we have 2 products. One is Travel Easy, which is our outbound travel insurance for Malaysians or people working here. And it covers domestic as well, because sometimes we will be traveling within Malaysia. And we have a COVID Travel Pass, which is our inbound product for tourists coming into Malaysia that needs a cover. In terms of home, we have one home insurance product that covers fire, building, and also protecting your home valuables, like your contents. And last but not least, we have our personal accident category, which have the basic personal accident cover. We cover sports, we cover snatch, and also, accident, when you are driving, and last but not least, to cover, people with disabilities. Our products are available on 2 platforms. One is on the website, which is web responsive. It can be purchased via the website or on your smartphones. And of course, we also put our products, all 13 products, on our mobile app, Tune Protect mobile insurance app, so which is available to download on Google Play and also Apple App Store. Now let me take you through a very quick journey on, I'll just showcase one product, because we have 13 products, I won't be showing everything. One customer purchase journey via Tune Protect mobile app, which is our Travel Easy, our outbound travel insurance product. It's just a few information, and then you are able to get a code. Your destination of your country, where are you heading to, and your traveling dates. And instantly you're able to see your code. So there are plans for comparison. Like I mentioned, stackable, you're able to actually choose something very basic or something you want to add on with, like COVID insurance coverage. And subsequently fill up a couple of personal details. Your mobile number, your name, email. And lastly will be your home address. A summary for confirmation. And then you're able to add in loyalty points with big, and selecting your mode of payment, and instantly your cover is done. So once it's done, in a matter of seconds, you will actually receive a confirmation via your SMS and also via your email. Okay, I think Rohit earlier mentioned about our Tune Protect brand promise 333. I will share a bit more on how we actually put this 333 promise into our e-commerce journey. Okay, so of course, every e-commerce product that we're working on, we aim to make it the purchase journey nothing more than 3 minutes. We simplified it by having the bare minimum questions. We don't want to ask too many things that make customers difficult. And yeah, so everything we tried out, we tested out, we try to keep it definitely below 3 minutes. And all our products online, if you come to our website or our mobile app, there is available channel of communication. You can actually chat with us and also drop us an email. So why we need this chat is that because sometimes customers, even how simplified the insurance, they may have something that's blocking them or some questions that they need to check with someone. Okay, so they are able to actually drop us a message or even drop us an email. And of course, our promise here is about 3 hours response time. So definitely on working days, we are definitely way below that. Yeah. And also all our online products, there is actually an online filing of claims. You can file it over the mobile app and also on the website itself. And of course, our promise here is about the 3 days claim settlement. Let me just end with a video on the brand promise. That's the end of my presentation. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Roy, for giving us an insight into how e-commerce is making Tune Protect's 333 promise a reality. Just to inform the audience, we have a mid-morning refreshment served outside the hall at the moment. Do feel free to help yourself. However, we will not be breaking. You may bring your refreshments to the table. Next up, we will hear about Insurtech-as-a-service by Prasanta Roy. Prasanta double hats as the General Manager of White Label, the group's Insurtech arm. He is also the Group Chief Technology Officer. Prasanta is a collaborative IT technophile with more than 2 decades of achievement in leveraging technology to drive organizational growth, performance, and profitability in telecom IT. He has worked in various geographies like North America, Latin America, Africa, Southeast Asia, and Oceania. Please welcome Prasanta.
Hi, good morning, everyone. So, as you have heard, I come from a telecoms background into an FSI world. So, when I joined Tune Protect, the first thing I wanted to find out what is the fundamental difference between a telco world, which is much ahead in terms of disruption or technology compared to an FSI. So I did find out something which I would like to share. And trust me, after my findings, I have spoken to my peers in the FSI world. I've spoken to our business partners across the globe. This is no different. The findings are more or less common. Insurance industry, there is a lack of agility and time to market because it's heavily regulated. The platform is monolithic. The legacy software, which are not cloud ready. Then there is a culture. So there's a digital culture, which is also a big push compared to an telco industry. The stack is closed, which means you can't do innovation around that stack. And more importantly, there's lack of personalization, which means you create a product and push it out. It's not like what the customer wants. You create and you distribute it accordingly. And limited innovation. So when I looked through this, we wanted to change something for Tune Protect. We wanted to build something which is customizable. Roy has mentioned about stackable. And for that, the technology has to be something which is like layered. It cannot be a monolithic. It has to be modular so that you can quickly plug and play. So what does it mean? When from white label is the shared service arm of Tune Protect. And as Rohit mentioned earlier, white label is also going out in the market. So normally what happens in IT world, IT is always a consumer, which means IT consumes, and it's not a P&L center. We want to change that game in white label. We want to be an P&L unit. So what does it mean? Means we will build the product, the platform which works for Tune Protect. If it works for us, it will work for the rest of the world. That's how the belief is. So when we built this platform, what we wanted to keep in mind, it has to be open and scalable. So it will have open APIs. It will be cloud ready. It will be built on open source. So the cost of ownership is much less. I mean, we won't have databases like the big ones like Oracles and all in our environment, so that you don't pay a lot of money in the license process. It is made of open tech blocks, means you can, like a Lego, you can build anything out of it. That's how modular it is. And it will be able to distribute through any channels, whether it's a B2B or B2B2C. It will have AI and ML built in. It will be ready on omni-channel, so you can ingest through any of the channels where it comes from, and more importantly, it's configurable. That was the design principle. And then we built few platforms which is out there serving Tune Protect entities, but also our partners, Rohit has said, I mean, regionally, in Middle East, we are doing it in Southeast Asia. So those are the players where we are pushing it out. Now, what does it mean? It has APIs, which is very important in today's world, to do partnerships, and also to do products faster. We have a product configurator. We have intermediary microsites, which means your partner, they want to have their own branding. We can create that quickly because we use low code. We have mobile app. Roy has spoken about it, but it is white label, so I can give it to any players out there. It has a B2B portal, so where you can distribute products. We are doing this for travel today, and we will go beyond travel in the coming months around that. We are talking about embedded insurance, parametric. Rohit has talked about it. The parametric part in Vietnam, we did it with one of our business partners where you are flying and your flight is delayed and you have bought it using your mobile e-wallet, we will pay you the claims immediately if the flight is delayed. That's how it is. In a normal case, it is not possible because you have to give bank details and all, but if you are using e-wallet, we have the details with you. We can do that. So that's the level of flexibility, what we want to do it through the technology. So how would it work? If you look here, so you will see that this is your existing core system. And this is the white label platform, which is the Mars and the API, and on the top, this is the distribution platform. The changes happens only at the product layer. This is where the change happens. How it will go? It changes here. You see dental, A&H, term, and you go back, it still changes there. So it's a change, the products at the product layer, and then you can distribute it much faster. So what we have done so far, we have done 30 external projects all remotely across the globe. What is the main product is the MaaS and the B2B distribution platform, which means you create the product and then you distribute it. Though there are 23 insurers who are working with us. You can see out their names out here. All the products are fully modular. It is also connected through the APIs. It has AI/ML built in. When I say AI/ML, I give you an example what exactly it means in a world. So you are traveling from Kuala Lumpur to Melbourne, and you and I are sitting next to each other. Your insurance premium will be different than my insurance premium. And how would that work? Because we have a dynamic pricing built in. How that dynamic pricing would work, it will be the based on the affinity of it. So if I travel 5 times and buy 5 times insurance with TuneProtect, TuneProtect has more data from me. Whereas you are traveling maybe once. So your premium would be different than mine. It is not to generate maximum revenue, but to generate maximum yield out of it. So that's how the AI/ML works out here. Some of the data points, I mean, our platform does 11 million policies on an average per year. It has been consistently doing over the last 3 years. For one of the project in a customer, we went live in 4 weeks after the project was kicked off. We have processed for one of the insurers 500,000 policies in a day. That's quite a volume, because normally that's not the volume where insurers are used to. But there was a need, and the system rose up to the occasion and was delivering 500,000 policies. We did in last 2 years 60+ digital partnerships in Malaysia, all through the APIs out here. Similar to group policy of 333, White Label also has a 333 policy. What does it mean? Which means, how do we evaluate which partnership, how it will work, how much time it will take? It does on 3 Ds: discover, define, and deliver. Then the collaboration approach. 3 common platforms, as I said, which we bank on, which is the B2B, the MaaS, and the mobile app. And the 3 guiding principle: fail fast. Not all projects goes very smoothly, so we'll take the learnings. And demand-driven, and we do speed with control. This is our 333 policy. What is our business model? We have a competitive pricing, which means it will give revenue as a percentage of the GWP. That's how we are giving it as a service. Time to market, it is open source based, so that it has a lower TCO. Customizable to achieve results. What it means, we can customize it based on the insurer's need, business partner's need, and a platform-based approach, which means we don't do a project which is silo in nature, not a website or something. If it is platform-based, that's how we want to do it. Our B2B, our mobile app, our MaaS, which helps us to drive that platform-based approach, because we can do things faster. And we can deploy it in any place, whether it's a public cloud, whether it's a private cloud, whether you want to do it on-premise, we are flexible to do it. What are the target markets we are looking beyond travel? Because whatever we are doing so far, it was mostly on travel with our business partners. So we want to do in the Middle East 2023, Africa, and Southeast Asia. These are the 3 main regional areas where we want to focus for our tech. Also, when we talked about the AI/ML and all, we need partners. And Google is one of our partners who are helping us to achieve what we want to achieve when it comes to data. Our B2B platform, we want to modernize it. We are using Flutter. Flutter is one of the most developed language in today's world because of the cross-platform synergies and all. We are leveraging Google for customized brand experience and also for our data platform. So what is the North Star for White Label? So white label is committed to lower the risk for the insurers and as well as the total cost of ownership, so that the time to market is much faster while bringing in products and distributed digitally in the hyper-connected world at a competitive price. What does it mean? It means you don't need to go through a big transformation program of changing your core system, which could be risky, which can run for multi-years and like multi-million dollars you will keep on spending. This is a low-risk approach. You don't need to go to your board for approvals and all. The partner, we are very modular and flexible. We will do products, we will do distribution. Whatever your pain points are, we will help you to solve digitally. I guess that's about it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Prasanta, for the insight. We can see how tech is evolving from a mere support function to being an integral part in propelling the business forward. Next up on the agenda, we will be having our panel discussion, Embedded Insurance Simplified by Tech. Allow me to welcome our panelists onto the stage. Our first panelist is Akash Sharma, Koala's Head of Direct-to-Consumer, Duke Bao Viet Insurance, Vietnam's Head of Insurtech, Liu Tian Seong, Deputy President and Deputy CEO of Eco World Development Group Berhad, and last but not least, Janet Chin, Chief Partnership and E-Commerce Officer of TuneProtect Group. This session will be moderated by Afrel Teo, Head of Investor Relations, Sustainability and Mergers and Acquisitions of TuneProtect Group. Please welcome to the stage.
All right, very warm welcome and good morning, everyone. All right, thank you so much for coming here on behalf of TuneProtect, and also thank you to our panelists here today. So great to have you guys here, because normally corporate day you only hear it from the companies itself, but today we get to hear from our partners itself. So thank you very much for coming. So before we start, right, let me just introduce each of our panelists, right? Starting from my furthest right, Liu Tian Seong. Liu is the Deputy President and Deputy Chief Executive Officer of Eco World Development Group, a public listed property developer, right? Mr. Liu was appointed to his current position in January of 2022 after serving as Eco World Malaysia's Executive Director since 2013. His portfolio includes leading the digital innovation arm of Eco World Malaysia, and Liu is also the Joint Divisional General Manager of Eco Ardens Township in Shah Alam, right? Next, we have Akash here, right? Akash is the head of Direct-to-Consumer and Country Manager of Koala, an Insurtech company. As the head of Direct-to-Consumer, Akash is responsible for all aspects of Koala's online business in Malaysia and Indonesia. Based in Malaysia, he leads a team of 150 plus young and dynamic individuals. Prior to his current role, Akash headed sales and marketing in Malaysia. He was also instrumental in the group level in the capacity of AVP of partnership. So before Akash's recent tenure at Koala, he had a 2-year stint in the banking industry, Yes Bank, rising to become the Vice President of Retail Banking Digital Innovation, where he led the bank's Digital Neo Bank initiative along with other transformational projects for the retail banking business. Some interesting facts: Akash likes to discover new places, food and culture while meeting new people to know their stories. He also spends his time helping his entrepreneur friends at the early stage of their ventures. And next to Akash, we have none other than Ms. Janet Chin. Janet joined Tune Protect on 1st of March 2021 in her role as the Chief Partnership and E-commerce Officer. Janet is responsible to drive the growth of regional partnerships across the group with a focus on lifestyle and digital. This includes identifying new partnership opportunities, managing key business accounts, brand and digital marketing, e-commerce, and CSR initiatives. She has over 26 years of experience in various local and multinational financial services institutions. That includes Standard Chartered Bank, Kenanga Unit Trust Berhad, Great Eastern Life, and AXA FinLife. Janet's portfolio spans across key roles in branch banking, wealth management, group insurance, banker assurance partnerships, telemarketing, and digital business. Fun fact, in her spare time, she likes to cook and bike. Right? And last but not the least, we have Dirk, all the way from Vietnam, Hanoi. Right? Dirk is the head of Insurtech for Bao Viet Insurance in Vietnam. Bao Viet, by the way, is the largest Vietnamese insurer. The group is headquartered in Hanoi with a widespread network with more than 188 branches across 63 provinces across Vietnam. Dirk has 12 years of experience with an insurance broker, both life and non-life. He has 5 years of Insurtech experience. Being the largest insurer is no surprise. Bao Viet is embedded with notable corporates such as Bamboo Airways, as we have seen earlier, a full carrier with 30 fleets, whereby Bao Viet actually provides travel insurance. So with the introduction out of the way, I mean, let us just start, right? Maybe if we could share, what your company actually does and how does your company actually work with Tune Protect, right? Maybe you can start with Liu.
So Equal is a property developer. We have 2 listed entities, one of which is both listed in Malaysia, but our primary company, Equal Malaysia Development Group Berhad, is a property developer in Malaysia. So we have projects in Penang, Johor, and Klang Valley. Our other listed arm is Equal International, and we have projects both in Australia as well as the UK. So we, on a yearly basis, we do about I think about 7,000 property sales, and our primary business is in developing residential townships. So very much building communities for people to live, work, and play in. How we work with Tune depends on how far we want to go back in this history. But for us, because like I said, we built township communities throughout in the various countries that we operate in. So specifically in Malaysia, we work with Tune because we want to create closer relationships with our customers, right? And that comes both from a physical as well as a digital space. So in wanting to work, in wanting to create that closer relationship, it's also about having an extended variety of products that we're able to interact with our customer with. Hence why when we approached Tune, it was specifically for that reason, right? Once we sell our properties to our customers, we further engage them through the maintenance of the common area of the properties, right? If they choose to reappoint us. And in doing so, we also have our neighborhood app to help manage all of that. So what we felt is that to increase that customer engagement, to have a closer understanding and relationship with those customers, we felt that providing insurance is also a good way to extend that relationship. So that is how that was the thought process behind the nature of our relationship, and we hope to further increase that actually. Yeah.
Thanks much, Liu.
Significantly.
Thank you. Okay, moving on to Akash.
Hi everyone. First of all, thanks for having me here. So to give you a brief understanding about what Kuala does is, Kuala is an insurance tech player headquartered in Indonesia, Jakarta, and we are operating in Indonesia, Malaysia, Thailand, and Vietnam at the moment. We as an organization are trying to be a omni-channel player in insurance. So we have different business models running in different countries as per the need of the market. So we have distribution channels and online play in Indonesia. In Malaysia, we are complete e-commerce website where people can come, choose the product, what they want, and they can compare those products before they make a call of what particular product they want to buy. With the Tune, we have integrated with Tune to basically give offerings to our consumers on our website for different products like travel insurance, health insurance, and motor insurance, and we have end-to-end integrations with Tune, where it covers onboarding as well as post-onboarding issuance and every aspect of purchase. And this is how we are integrated with Tune.
All right, thanks a lot, Akash. Janet, we'll come back to you. All right, moving on, Doug, could you share about Balviet and how do you work with Tune Protect?
Yes, thank you, Alfred. And first, I would like to say thanks to Tune Protect team for inviting us to this special event. And I also want to introduce a little bit about Balviet Insurance to the audience. We are the first insurer in Vietnam, started from 1964. And since then, we have developed to a group of companies. Now we are doing life insurance, general insurance, bank, fund management, and securities. With the annual revenue of more than $2 billion US dollars. In terms of non-life insurance, our annual GWP is around 500 million US dollars. And we sell mostly via the traditional sales channel, like a direct sale, bank insurance, or agent. In terms of the digital channel, it's quite new for us. We have established this new channel for a couple of years. And we have learned a lot of things by ourselves and by partnering with partners like Tune Protect Re. And again, I can see that it is a very fruitful partnership where we support each other and we can make use of the strengths and capabilities of each other. And Tune support us in many fields. I can name like designing the product and reinsurance, technical integration and operation as well. And I see that more and more potential in Vietnam market rising especially during the pandemic. And in the next year, I think that we will have more and more potential to do together. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Duke. Now moving on to Janet, right? I think, Janet, you don't have to introduce Tune Protect. I think they do know. But what is interesting, right? You know, when Janet came in, we had less than 5 partners in the group. And if you observe what Rohit presented earlier, what's that number now? 65. So in less than 2 years, she managed to grow from 5 partners to 65. I think that's an incredible feat. So I guess what the audience want to know, right, is what's your secret, right? How do you manage to do that?
Hi, everyone. Good morning. I think the key success, I think if you say number from 5 to 65, it's all not due to me, of course. There's a few key success factors. The first one, it's value proposition. I'm just going to go by first one, value proposition. Second one is speed to market. Third one is people. And the fourth one is tech. Okay? We need to be able to give the right value proposition to all our partners. You know, we have all sorts of partners. We meet all sorts of partners. Some partners, they just want something simple, B2C, and then they become our affiliate partners. So that's a simple model. There are some partners that want more. They want to embed our insurance into their products and transactions. So we have different types of partnership models, and we are also able to curate or customize something which we don't have currently on the shelf, and we can do it for some of our partners. Okay, it's very easy to push the on-the-shelf products, but we believe in understanding what the customer wants, what is their business model, and how we can help them, with their offerings. Okay, that's value proposition. Sorry, very long-winded. Okay, so the second one is speed to market. That is also very important. I think, as what Rohit mentioned, that's our key differentiator. Because I think some of the partnerships, right, we see them. Some of my team, it's just not me. I have a big team of my partnership channel. I see they tell me they are going out to see a client or prospect, and before I know it, they sign the deal and we go live. That's how it is. Our key differentiator is speed to market. We will finalize commercials, do the tech integration, and go live. Okay. Third one I mentioned is people. Okay. The team, the partnership channel, we have dedicated partnership teams across all entities. That's how, to really focus on acquiring partners. So we have our partnership team in Thailand, in EMEA, and for the Malaysia team as well, and in Tune Protect Re. Okay? Tech is also very important. That's the key thing as well, because every time we see a partner, we want to know a few things. We want to know what they do. We want to know what product they want. And the key thing is also the tech. Do they have a tech team, or they want our tech team to do the work for them? So tech is key in all my partnership discussions and all that. All right, thank you.
Thanks so much, Janet. I think a lot of key facts there, but not easy to replicate, I'm sure, right? So moving back to our topic, we are talking about embedded insurance, right? And Tune Protect, when we first started, we actually did embedded insurance, right? Having travel protection cover within the AirAsia ecosystem, right? But now you can see that embedded insurance is not just for travel insurance. So going back to Eco, right, Liu's company, we have embedded insurance within the app, which Liu was mentioning just now. I just want to bring this topic, with the problem with apps, right, is that a lot of people download it, but if they do not interact with it, or they don't find a reason to actually use it, over time it becomes, it's useless. They might just want to delete it. It's taking up space. It's taking up, RAM. So what is EcoWorld's strategy, in terms of getting the customer engaged, keep using the app, keep interacting with it?
Well, I think it depends on your ecosystem, right? Because if your ecosystem is the app, then of course it's a difficult value proposition for people to download your app and use the app and keep the app. But for us, the app is part of our ecosystem. And if you buy a house from Equal, you have to download the app, because that's how you enter the house. That's how you book your. That's how you book for your facilities. That's how you register your guests to come in, and that is also how you pay your monthly management fees, TN bills. That's how we. So it's part of our ecosystem. Hence why that is not an issue for us. And on top of that, I think what we have to do more of is actually increase our digital channels to our customers as well. So the app being one of it, and we've got other portals and other digital initiatives that are coming up that will increase that interaction and digital interaction time between our customers and us. And so by doing so, we hope that. Yeah, hence why when I said earlier, we will really want to increase our relationship with Tune, is to actually to customize more of your, to work with you to identify more customizable products to be able to reach out to our customers as well. I think that we have a lot more opportunities to grow in that area, and yeah, we want to really do focus on that initiative.
Oh, that's interesting. I just want to stay with you, right, Liu. And how would you actually measure the success of that strategy? I mean, do you measure how long people are engaged, how much sales is coming up
on our app, or on our relationship?
On the app itself, right?
On the app. Okay, yeah. So on the app, we look at active users as well as customer engagement time. Customer engagement time is a bit low, but one very easy success measure for us is how many people are actually paying their management fees through the app. Yeah. So traditionally, I think in most housing areas, it's always a physical check or cash to the management office to pay for your monthly management fees. So we've actually moved, I think, almost 98% to online. So for us, that is a great success. But now it's for us to actually make sure that we're able to actually push more of our digital sales for Tune, for your insurance products through that actually.
Very interesting. Thanks a lot. So moving on to Akash, right? So Akash, you are an insurance marketplace, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. So, but at the end of the day, it is embedded insurance because for us, Tune Protect, we have our APIs actually embedded within Koala itself. What I found interesting, speaking with the team was, not every insurance company has an end-to-end process when they embed with you, right? But for us, it's different. We actually have an end-to-end process, right? So I'm just curious to know, how does that really help the customer when it's end-to-end, right?
Okay, that's quite true that not all players in the market have end-to-end API integrated with us. But also on the same time, I think before I go into how this API helps is more importantly, how the players we work with, insurance player we work with, support us when we are building something new. So what you can observe is it's not about just the APIs being very active or the downtime being very low. It's about the innovation the team is bringing on the table to ensure the success of it. So we have seen the team been very proactive. We have seen people engaged with Koala on projects, sitting with our team and explaining them everything which we can do through the platform, through the API integration, and what product we are selling to our consumer. So that has helped a lot for us in the whole growth journey in the last 1 year in Malaysia. In terms of API, how it helps customer is that the pricing which they get is very real time on the website itself, and as soon as they make the payment towards the product, the issuance is like instant almost. So the whole journey is so seamless that it feels like you have bought something, like you bought a product out of a wallet and it's there in your account and you can just use it. So you don't have to worry about the cover note coming to you or the policy copy coming to you in like 3 days, 4 days, and you are insured on the time there and like instantly. It also helps so basically in our marketplace model, like the products which we are selling are not like the embedded product, but more like a product which people can choose. So with the features of product which Tune has, it has helped us to advise consumers to buy the right product. So now our consumer are moving towards products which can help them on longer term. So this is how we see the journey with Tune.
Thanks so much for sharing that, Akash. Now moving on to Dirk, right? I think one interesting aspect of the embedded insurance, right, which Rohit did touch about, is actually parametric insurance. And I do know for a fact that Malviet, working together with Tune Protect, you do provide that with Bamboo Airways, if I'm not mistaken, and some of your B2C partners, right? So maybe you could share with the audience, what's the key features of this parametric insurance and how does it actually help the customer purchase journey and the whole customer experience?
Yes. The story got back to 2019 and 2020 when we and Malviet and Tune Protect cooperate to launch to the market the travel insurance and flight delay insurance. And we offer it to our existing partner, the largest e-wallet in Vietnam, Momo, not Bamboo. Yes, they have their database of more than 30 million end users now. And yes, and we offer to them the product flight delay, and they were very welcoming at that time. And we do the integration part, and then we launch. And the product say that if you buy the airline ticket on Momo app, you can also buy the flight delay insurance on the app. And when the flight is delayed more than 2 hours, you can get the reimbursement instantly right after you land in the arrival airport. And it amazed the customer a lot because the traditional claim settlement can take a few days and they have to submit the claim documents. But for this product, they really don't need to do anything. And some of them, I remember, they called to our hotline and thanks us for that very easy getting the payment. Yes.
Yeah, just to stay with you, right? It's interesting. What about the tech part of it, right? How does how do we detect that the flight is being delayed and then payment is being remitted to the customers?
Yes, thanks to the development of the technology in Tune side, that Tune can detect the flight delay instantly, and right after that, the system will send the automatic SMS to the customers to notify them that you are the one who get the reimbursement, and we reimburse the payment through the e-wallet also. So it is the end-to-end journey from the purchasing the product, very easy, less than I think 3 seconds, not 3 minutes, but 3 seconds. Yeah, and they can, at the purchasing flow, they can read all the information that they need. But most of the customer, they will buy the airline ticket on, for example, mobile app frequently, so they just need to read one time at the first place, and then they just keep going, and we see that the retention rate is very good. And then they know how to get the reimbursement already, yeah.
Wow, very interesting. Maybe our 333 promise we need to add another 3 seconds in there. Okay, now moving on to Janet, right? I think back to this partnership business, right? I think there's there are some detractors that say, why do you want to work with partners when you can do it yourself? Meaning your own B2C, right? If you work with partners, you have to pay commissions, for instance. So I just want to hear your thoughts on that. What's the logic in a sense?
I think B2C is very crucial to our business. B2C, we are building that. That is part of our key growth strategy. But we also think that omni-channel is important and it's the right approach. So we are looking at omni-channels now where we have a combination of B2C and digital partnership distribution, okay? Why do we want to do that? It is because I think it will enable us to reach out to, we can build an ecosystem of partners, affiliate partners, and also leverage on our partners distribution network. As I mentioned, we have two types of partners, those that use our B2C, those that embed our insurance onto their products and offerings. So we want to be able to build market share and also increase our revenue stream, and at the same time, be able to reach out to all the different customer segments that maybe because our B2C channel is focusing more on the younger segment. So through partnerships, we have different types of partners with different customer segments. We'll be able to penetrate to all types of customer segments and demographics.
Thanks, Janet. And maybe just stay on with you as well, right? Another thing that people do mention is, with this B2B2C model, I mean, working with partners, you don't actually own the customers, right? So how important is it, that we actually own the customers, or if we do not, we are fine with that? I mean, just to hear your thoughts on this part.
We have some partners where, we are the underwriter. So the customers they only know our partners. We are the underwriter behind it, okay? I think embedded insurance, it's good, and I think there's a lot of benefits as well. Like I mentioned, we are able to have a wider reach of the market, be it B40 or M40, so different segments. That's one. This is B2B, B2B2C, right? Owning the data, the thing is, we don't own the customers, as you mentioned, right? We don't own the customers, but we are able to get customer details as well. Through embedded insurance doesn't mean that we don't know anything about the customers. We will require them to provide us some customer details. And from these details, we can use this data to actually analyze and provide better product design and also better benefits for the different segments moving forward, okay?
Yeah. There's no issue with PDPA, Personal Data Protection Act, right?
No, there is definitely not.
That's great. Yep. Okay. So probably moving on to the last question. I think this is a question for all our partners, right? Really what has been the experience, working with TuneProtect? What's the future plans, that you have in the pipeline to work with us? What's the experience been like, during the integration phase, integrating the APIs and getting to know each other? Just a general, your experience working with us. Yeah, maybe we start off with Leo.
We are obviously very happy. I think any shortcomings probably on our side more than your side. But I think coming back to what Rohit mentioned earlier on, your 333, yes, I really do we really have a very great experience with that. We feel that you guys have been very okay. Well, that's on the customer experience side. Actually, from a partnership point of view, we do agree and we do feel that you guys have been very fast to accommodate as well as work with us to launch things really quickly. I think we're one of your much earlier partners, if I'm not mistaken, right? One of the first few, probably. Yeah, one of the first few, right? So we're very happy with that. And we really do want to increase that, like I said, very much more. Now, in terms of our group revenue versus the amount of revenue that comes from insurance, it's really, really insignificant from our P&L point of view. But ideally, we would like it to be around 30 to 50 million a year. That is what we want to grow it to, and I think it's for us to figure out how we want to go about doing that, as well as explore a deeper, explore the relationship from a deeper partnership point of view. In terms of wanting to, actually coming back to the question that I feel you just asked, Janet, right? You don't own the customer, you own because it's our customers, right? Actually, you do own the customer because you own us, right? In that sense. For us, we can only have 2 insurance partners, right? And because of the very good, healthy, quick relationship that we have, and the more customizable relationship that we have with Tune, we're more inclined to work with you versus our other partner. So by the extension, actually, it is, we can get the things we want quickly and customizable, and we would then be more inclined to, increase that relationship with you as well. Hence why we're here, for example. So yes, something that we would very much like to expand in terms of relationship.
Thanks so much, Liu. Akash.
Like when I was watching the keynote, I could observe few points, right, where Rohit mentioned that the focus is Gen M, Gen Z. The team consists of younger people with more innovative mindset coming in, and this is what we basically, whenever we talk to Tune, we are able to experience it firsthand, right? The team is always open to good new ideas. They are always open to come on the whiteboard and basically jot down what we can do together. And I think this would be a key area where we'll keep on exploring new projects with Tune. I think we are already engaging in Indonesia with Tune. We are looking to engage further in Thailand. Vietnam is new for us, but as soon as the market gets mature for us, I think that is another area where we can explore something which we can do together. Also, we are looking at how we can expand collaboration into a different business model. Like from an insurance tech point of view, we would be the largest integrator in the market with e-com players, will travel websites and all. So I think there are areas where we can collaborate more on those areas as a player. And we will keep on looking at how we can make better product for our direct-to-consumer business and our distribution business in Indonesia. So yeah, there are a few areas which we can work together.
Awesome. Thank you, Akash. And Doug?
Yes. If we read a story or novel, we will have the beginning, the body, and the ending. And I think that we have closed the first chapter between Bhavit and Tune for our partnership. We know each other during the years working together, and now we can collaborate to develop further together. For the past project we do together, we do very closely, and we know each other. I sometimes assume that I work with maybe half of the company from Tune, because a lot of people supporting us during the journey, and now we know each other. It's like a train moving on forward, and now we can run at a high speed to explore together the Vietnamese market. And previously, we are exploring more on travel side, and I know that there are a lot of potential for other lines of business, and we may work together with the team to explore more in the future, especially in 2023.
All right, thanks. Just another question for you, right? Because, I mean, Bao Viet is the largest insurance company in Vietnam, right? And out of the many insurance partners that you could work with, right? Why Tune Protect?
Tune is one of the first partners working with us to support us to develop the digital channel. And during the years, we appreciate much the effort of Tune Project team. You'll always be there to help us, not only in designing the product, but also to how to deliver it to the market, to the sales platform and user. And when it comes to the operation, and there is the request or claim from customers, the team also will be there to support us. And we really appreciate that effort. And I think that the both party have the kind of the same level of expectation that we can work together to support the things that we don't have from each side. Because from Bảo Việt, we are quite a big name in Vietnam, so somehow we can get the partners to work with us, and you can help us with the technical part and with reassurance and other things.
Thanks a lot, Doug. Then maybe just end with one last question for Janet, right? You know, how important has the subject of tech been? You know, I mean, you talk with so many partners and potential partners, right? I mean, what's the one thing that they always bring up? You know,
tech is very important. It's the key enabler, and that's always what the partners always talk about. You know, first thing first, as I mentioned, we understand their business. Then we go through the proposition, what is the right product for them, and then the key thing will be tech. They may say, oh, we don't have tech, or, you know, we can't go live because our tech team is not ready. So key, and that's where we will propose our tech team to them and say, and tell them, look, we can do it for you. And that will save your time as well, as what Prasanta mentioned, right? Things can be done fairly quickly if, you know, you use our tech. And I think one of the other things that most partners will always want, you know, when it comes to tech, is they want it to be fast. They want our tech to be very simple to integrate. That's the key. And they will say, hey, our tech team is ready. Is your tech team ready? Yes. That's key. The other thing is tech support. We have Prasanta's team, Colin here. We work closely with them, so we are like they're part of our partnership team as well. Tech support is important because the minute you go live, it doesn't end there. Sometimes there are system issues, glitch. And the reality is it's not smooth all the time. Sometimes partner think is our fault. Sometimes we think it's partner's fault. So that happens, that's reality. And I have many chat groups, tech chat groups. I have got chat group one for one partner. They say something's not working and all that. But the good thing is our tech team is there. So the minute something doesn't work, our tech will come in and say, try this, do this. So I've seen a lot of all these codes that I don't understand, but I know they're all working on it. Yes. So in short, our tech is very important to our partners, and that makes us different from the rest of the insurance companies. Thanks.
All right. Thank you. I think with that, we'll end our panel session. Can we give them a hand? All right. Thank you so much. Hand the time back to our MC, Nena.
Thank you very much, panelists. Can we all please give them another round of applause? May I please ask all panelists to kindly remain on stage for a group photo? Thank you very much. Sorry about that. Thank you again, all panelists. Next up, allow me to welcome onto the stage once again our Group Chief Technology Officer, Prasanta Roy, together with White Label's Head of Digital, Colin Isitor. Colin will be showcasing us TuneProtect's latest mobile app features without spoiling the surprise and revealing too much. I'll hand the time over to Colin. Can we get Prasanta onto the stage with Colin? Okay, let's give it up to Colin and Prasanta.
Hello, a very good morning to everyone.
Good morning once again.
How are you this morning? Okay, hope everyone is feeling great. I know it's a bit cold, but hopefully this next part, we give you a little surprise of what's coming up on our mobile app, right? So maybe Prasanta, you want to say a little bit first?
Yeah, I mean, insurance mobile app, what does it comes to your mind? Okay, you will buy a policy maybe once or twice a year. And then if you don't have space, you will delete it at the first instance, right? That's what it comes to your mind, right? So we want to change the game, how we want to build this app and how we want to engage with our customers. So Colin is going to show you a preview of that. And this is something which will go live in a week's time. So you have the privilege to view it first. Okay, Colin, go ahead.
Okay, thank you, Prasanta. Okay. So I'm going to give you, everyone here, an exclusive sneak peek on 2 exciting features that we'll be launching very, very soon. The first one is Pump. What is Pump? Prasanta?
I have no clue. Why don't you say?
Okay. So Pump is going to be our digital health tech feature, which actually enables our customers to monitor in a fun way your health and physical activities, right? So like Prasanta mentioned, currently now from an insurer mobile app that we have, you come, you buy your different types of insurance, and that's about it. Maybe you come back later and check maybe on claims and other information, and you usually come back once a year, right? Now how can we make this more exciting, more fun for our customers? So today, I'm going to actually show you Pump, which is our health tech reward program that will be on the mobile app. This will be made available in Malaysia and in Thailand.
Yeah.
So firstly, launching the app. And today what I'm going to show you is just actually a journey of how a person will actually look at the Pump feature and onboard into the program. So this is not available on the app stores yet. It will be available soon. So this will be actually the landing page. I will talk a little bit of another feature that is coming out in the app in a little bit, but this is the main part here, which we're showcasing today, Pump. Okay? What is Pump? So let me go into. So the first thing I'm going to show you how a new user who hasn't enrolled or onboarded to the program will actually look when they want to come the first time and try for this service. It takes down some analytics and some information that the customer has to input. Okay, I'm going to be nice and say I sleep at 10 o'clock, get up at 6 o'clock, I have a good healthy 8 hours of sleep. Now I can connect to any fitness tracker. It could be a Fitbit, a Garmin, or it can even be a Samsung device, or even your Apple Watch. Now, you don't see Apple Watch here because how we connect to Apple Watch is using your Apple Health Tracker on your iOS device. So for this step, unless you're using a Fitbit or Garmin, you will actually select one of those devices. So here.
So in case of Android, it will connect to the Google Health.
Correct, yes. So now here, some statistics information that you need to fill up. Your height, your weight. If you do not smoke, we have a healthy average alcoholic drink once a week. And once you submit, you will be actually onboarded onto this program. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to toggle to another device. Just hold on to show you how will that look. Now, once you have onboarded into the program, right? Sorry, there's a little bit of the Wi-Fi connection here. Okay, I think am I showing it?
So while Colin fixes it, what I want to also say, why we are doing this? What we want from you is you use the app, we get more data. When we bring out with our health plans, we offer you a much better plan. It will be much more customized to your need, not a generalized plan which will go out and you just take it, which may not be relevant for you at all.
Howard, maybe you can turn off this thing and restart the thing again, the only screen. Okay, maybe what we'll do is I'm connected to the Wi-Fi, but it's not showing. I'll just switch over to the video that we prepared as a backup. So maybe again, a few steps again that we'll walk through again. And once we launch the app, I sign into the app with my number, enter my PIN number, and I'm on the app. So this is what it looks like, the landing page that I showed you. And under Pump, this is an experience of an onboarded customer that's going to start signing up. And you see there, we have this number here called 68. That's the Pump score. So basically just showing you a little onboarding again, like what we did just now. So I'm turning on all the services that I can take with my wearable. Again, the same thing like we inputted just now. And on this device, we're connecting to a Fitbit device. Now, when you connect to another Fitbit device, it takes you into your verification process, connects to Fitbit automatically, gets your confirmation, and it takes a few more information, like just now, your name, your height, and you're in. So now maybe let me pause a little bit on this screen. So what is that pump score there? The physical, lifestyle, and sleep, right? So actually, the pump score helps you recognize the benefits of your physical lifestyle choices and makes informed decisions on how to have a healthier lifestyle, right? The score uses data from your connected fitness tracker or the Apple Health app. So also on the app here, you have a score that is taken from your physical lifestyle and sleep. Now, you have your nutrition and fiber, and also your mindset as well, right? So Howard, can you continue? I'll talk a little bit about the pump score, the RISE game, and this is how actually all the services are available, and we'll go into a little bit and touch a little bit by little bit, right? So now first thing, I will kick the first step. So just now the score that you saw actually indicates, it has different tiers. Now that score indicates a very poor physical activity and sleep yesterday, right? It just shows that I didn't exercise much, I had a light activity, I was seated quite some time, slept about 6 hours, I did 3,016 steps, right? And also on the app as well, it shows me my pump score. What was my average, my lowest, what was my highest score that I achieved over the week. It also has statistics on showing you that from a day to day, from Monday to Saturday to Sunday, and also a lot of information that you can get from a weekly basis or even monthly too as well. So now this was the scores that I mentioned. So these are the tiers that actually show you the different points threshold that detect whether you're having a very poor scoring, or good or excellent too as well, right? It also gives you tips how I can improve my score. See, these are suggestions and recommendations to help anyone improve their lifestyle. And all this is actually available at your tip of fingers on the app. Again, it has different views of your scores, the full time, your average, the time that you're seated, and you can see all these things here, information, all this analytics is provided for our customers to view, monitor, and continue working on their healthy lifestyle. So isn't this something different, something exciting for an insurer to have? That we're not really allowing our customers to do the standard things that they can buy from buying insurance from us, to protect themselves, but we're giving something that actually can add a little difference to help them to get healthier.
So Colin, do you have anything around the community frame?
Yes, we'll show that a little bit. Yep, correct. So I think the next part maybe I want to show you a little bit is on the next tier that we had on the main page, which was actually on the next section, which was on the food, the recipes, and all this information too as well. Now, one part is just exercise, right, which was very important, and it tracks all these things. But again, how can you also keep me to eat well, to keep myself eating the right things, right? Making sure that goes. It's just not about exercise, right? It's also what we eat, what goes into our body too as well. So again, there is a score that is determined based on a selection of items that you pick of the different kind of foods that you take daily. At the same time, it calculates a fiber score for you as well. And then, this is what I mean by calculating. So for example, it'll give you a questionnaire and tell you, for example, how many serving of cereals do you take in the day, right? And it has other things also as well, such as soy or vegetables, fiber type of food. All this kind of information is given for you because they just want to get a feel of what you're actually consuming and what you will use daily. Even tells you how to make the servings, whether you take 1 serving, 0.5 servings, or maybe eat a lot more vegetables. And then it comes up with that score and give you the statistics, and that will continue to monitor you actually. And then the next part is, okay, I've got the score, it sees what I like to eat, but how can you help me eat healthily, right? Hey, I've got all these recipes here. I'm not a great cook, but again, there is some settings of so many things that are available that could help me improve, right? Now, this is for Malaysia. Currently now it's available in English. Soon it'll be available in Bahasa Malaysia too as well. In Thailand, when it's launched, it'll be available both in English and in Thai too as well, right? Because most of our Thai consumers always go to the Thai language first. As you can see, it tells you the total time to take. It gives you, you can serve 4 people, how many grams per serving. It also gives you the ingredients. It's quite simple, quite straightforward, and I think it's like what our tagline is saying, keep it simple, right? So the next part is, maybe we'll go to the next section of it, which is on the mind. So again, similar steps. It has a list of questions to take your information. It calculates a score. And there's actually, again, it gives you the indication of how the score is done. And the next part is, it actually has a library or a lot of things like, for example, here, remember when you're doing the steps to get your score, these are some of the questions that I asked, which are quite cynical, like, for example, am I feeling cheerful all the time, partially, right? It has the library too as well, which has lots and lots of information on your mental health, what are some of the psychological benefits that you're having, how to improve your sleep, right? If you're facing fatigue, not enough hours of sleep, for example. And all this information is actually provided for somebody that can read online and help them actually as a guide. And you see meditations. It actually has a lot of articles and also has videos. So somebody can actually view those videos and see and understand a little bit what goes on in it. For example, this video here that we have.
Welcome, listener.
If I had the live feed, then I would have actually shown you an example of the video and what it looks like. But after the session, actually, you can come over to us and we can actually show you a bit on the app itself. Okay? So it doesn't just cover your exercise, your physical activities. It has something to touch with the food that we eat. It also has a little bit on the state of our mind, things that can help us improve. Because now, especially after the pandemic too as well, a lot of us have learned that having a healthy mind, a mind that is at ease, is also important to our health too as well, right? So now remember, there's a question that Prasanta asked. What is it that I can do with a community, right? So now, let me talk a little bit about this. In Pump, we have this thing called the Pump Rise scheme, okay? So now once a number of us are onboarded onto this program, I actually can raise a challenge to a number of people, like my colleagues or my friends, or everyone that is actually on the app. We can include everyone too as well. I can have a pump score challenge, pump steps challenge, and I can start the program whether it's a month, for a whole year, And all the information that is connected from our fitness wearables is tracked and it contributes to that score, right? And it actually shows you, for example, here it gives you a badges of based on what you have done. It even tracks you on the days that you have earned those badges, right? And the points that just now you saw that 73, it's also based on a list of how much points based on the pump score that you achieved early on. All these contributes to different levels. So there's a bronze level, a silver level, gold, and platinum, right? It's how much you do and contribute to your score that attributes to that scoring over there. Now, I'm doing all this. I have a community of friends that I collect the scores. But what do I do with the points? What is it in for me? Coming up soon, not immediately when we launch, but in the next couple of weeks, the current team is actually working on engaging partners. What we're trying to do is to reward customers based on each tier that they are. For example, they may get a digital voucher, something of this sort. Let's say if you reach, it's a bit unclear here, but just let's say, for example, you're on the bronze, you may actually receive a 10 ringgit e-voucher, right? And as you work more and more and more, actually we'll go to the next stage, and because of that, you may get another e-voucher for different things. These are some of the partners that they're engaging here in Malaysia for now, and there'll be more increase to this list too as well. So it's actually to also keep the customer engaged, because it's just not about using and tracking myself, my lifestyle, but again, what can I gain from it? So this is also something part of our loyalty program, how to reward customers for being together with us with Tune Protect.
And how also to give you a better plan. So for example, if you have done consistently 10,000 steps over a month, maybe your monthly health plan, we can give you some discount, because we have the data. The more data you give it to us, we give it back to you on a better plan, much more customized plan. And you might also think, I do have an Apple Watch or an Android Watch or a Fitbit or Garmin. That also gives you, because it has its apps, right? But when you are doing a challenge and all with your friends or colleagues, they might all have different ecosystem. We bring all of them together so you can have that, right? Whether as a group in your office colleagues or you are with your friends group, everything you can get it together in one place. So this will lead to our hyper-personalization and mobile-first, what Rohit has mentioned at the beginning, mobile-first approach. So you can use this for your engagement. We are doing this with the health. Tomorrow it might be your driving behavior, how you drive. I mean, we already have a product in Tune Protect where pay as you drive, PAYD, but pay how you drive might come in future also. So we have your health data, we have your driving data. That will lead to much more hyper-personalization across the board.
Okay. Maybe there's another part in the app just now. Howard, if you could just back up a little bit. We talked about a little bit about in the app to track our, where you saw all the information. We also showed you places where you can actually take part in the challenge too as well. And also there is a social board too as well. Somebody is actually, for example here, they were doing testing or they did some launch with a group of people that they have in their groups. All this is also available for a person to post, even videos, for example. If you're in the biker community, you go for cycling, you have a few people, you want to give them a few interesting articles or share pictures, you can actually also share with them in this way too as well. And the last part was when we go under your profile. Here you will actually see also currently now what status of the tier you are in terms of the program. We showed you the connected apps. You can connect to more than one app, but you only can connect to one device at one time, right, in order to collect the points, right? It also shows you your badges. You want to update your profile as well. It allows you to do that too as well, right? So again, this allows our customers to be able to enroll in a monthly challenge, collect points, and I think the best part, redeem the rewards accordingly to the different tiers, right? As you saw just now that we showed, we even have recipes that customers are able to follow and content, such as for meditation, for relaxation, where they can actually enjoy listening to as well, right? So this is something that we feel that is interesting for the app. There's more and more to come for the pump. This will be being launched very, very soon. It will be available in the app stores. Currently now what we're showing you is from our testing devices. And this is one key exciting feature that's coming. So I hope all of you all here will download the app. When the new update comes available in the App Store, please continue to download you as well and enjoy this service, right? This is a free-to-use service for all our customers, right? It doesn't mean that you need to purchase any plan with us immediately. As long as you download the app, you can enroll into the program. Yes. So we're giving back and getting all our customers on board, which is really exciting for all of us, right? So I think the next part, which is also in line of what we're doing, is something we reference. Remember, just now Rohit, Roy, everyone spoke of our brand promise. 333, right? Purchase within 3 minutes, customer inquiry within 3 hours, claims is paid within 3 days, right? Now, what is very important promise to us is the part for our Moto, right? So we already sell the Moto product through our app. You can purchase your Moto product every year, correct? But what is very important is how to improve the claims experience, right? So one of the things that we're actually launching in the app in the new version is actually to allow our customers, just hold on, the app is launching, we're launching the app, the same process to launch the app. We're actually allowing our customer to call our toll-free auto assist center. In case they get into a problem, I'm panicking, I don't know what to do. You don't even need to log in into the app. You saw the little banner at the top there. If you just click that banner, it'll actually show you in order how to call the auto assist. And the auto assist center will come over to support you and send a tow truck to you, right? So the second stage as well on the app, what we're having is, I bought my Moto policy here, right? But how to do the claim, correct? So what it allows a customer to go and select a Moto accident claim guide. It gives you the do's and don'ts in the time you have met an accident, right? And now, I've read the instructions, I know what to do, I've got all the supporting documentation, I want to go ahead and do my claim. Everything digitally available on the app. I can do it for myself, or I'm helping somebody to claim on their behalf, I can also do that for them too as well. I choose the benefit that I want to claim against too. In this case, we took the windscreen damage. Now, very simple, just 3 documents to upload supporting. Of course, we're using dummy documents here. Select the bank that I want to be paid to, my account, bank name holder, the account number, the type of my ID recognition, and if I choose NIRC, enter the NIRC number. Submit, do a bit of confirmation, verification. Look at the final details that you're submitting, press the submit button. As long as all the supporting information is submitted online, it'll be verified. I got an email straight away in my inbox. I've also got my claims reference number, which will appear on your app too as well. And here's my email that already says that I've got the reference number, who to contact in case I want to connect, and if all the documentations are in place, the claims team will pay in terms of our brand promise within 3 days. So I hope this is a little bit, but there's a lot more things that we're doing for Moto coming up soon, right? We're trying to make this a one-stop center for all our customer segments in supporting the Moto Claims Initiative, which is very important for us here at Tune, right? So the phase 1, I showed you, we had the SMS emergency button. We had the guideline for claims, customers to be able to fill in the online claims simply, right? But I think the next part is our next phase, which we're going to do next year. Just letting you all know a bit. It's just a sneak peek of what's coming up, actually. On the app itself, a customer can actually select for the preferred workshop options. Another part that they can actually have real-time geolocation tracking of the assigned tow truck, right? Also, first notification of loss.
Wow, that's a lot of work.
That's a lot of work. And actually, we recognize for your longitude, latitude of your accident and information uploaded on the app. And it goes straight away to the tow company so that they know exactly where you are, and the tow truck is actually sent to you automatically. And you can actually view this on your app too as well. And now, previously, if you look at the app, only those that purchase through the app or through our web can actually see your policies and do the claims. We're going to open it to all segments. So those that even purchased it through the traditional channels, you'll be able to see your policies on the app and do your claims and have all the services available. Of course, there are future phases like Prasanta talked to you early on for our roadmap. We're talking about telematics. We're talking about auto-renewal notice. Let's say if 2 months before your motor insurance is going to expire, automatically you'll be notified. We're going to have more capabilities through the app to actually do self-service, such as your endorsement, change of your name, those kind of information too as well. Trying to make it a one-stop center for all our customers. So look forward to all of you all continue to download our app. It's available on the Apple Store, Google Play Store. Continue to support us, and I think there's a lot of exciting things coming for us. We are really going digital. We're going fully digital, and Tune is going fully in this direction. Okay? So thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, Colin and Prasanta, for that presentation. As mentioned by Colin, this is an exclusive preview of the Pump Health Tech feature that will be available on our mobile app this Sunday, 4th of December. You can go ahead and download our mobile app that is currently available on the Google Play Store and Apple App Store to enjoy these cool features soon. Now, let's move on to the last and final part of our event today, which is the Q&A session. I would like to invite Rohit, Prasanta and Janet onto the stage to address questions from the floor. Should you wish to ask your question, please raise your hand and we will pass the mic to you. Should you wish to ask anonymously, you can log on to Slido. The details are shown on the screen, and submit your question via the platform. A friendly reminder, we will only be addressing questions limited to technology and surrounding today's topic. The floor is now open for any questions.
Okay, before taking the questions, I think there were a few people who came in late, so and a few of you are. I think there's a few feedback here. One for the comms team is, I think 3 of you told me the meeting was too early. So probably next time we'll do it at 10 or 11. The second is, I think the traffic has gotten worse, so we can see that in our motor claims anyways. Unfortunately, I think Malaysians forgot to drive after COVID. Anyway, very quick summary. A question was asked saying they all were frantically checking this in the mobile app and said, where is this launched? FYI, this is a preview. I think maybe Colin didn't mention it. This is going to go on the App Store on the 4th. Okay, the one that was shown is UAT. That's why some of you also asked me the passwords were seen. Don't worry, it's not Colin's password, it's some dummy password. So it was a UAT that we showed you. So all of this will be live on the 4th. We have a big launch event, customer launch event at Sunway Velocity Mall as well. So feel free to join us. Thailand's doing something similar. Other countries are doing something similar. So very quickly, for those of you who missed it, I think the key message is we are an Insurtech. We handle both the technology side, but also the insurance side. We have a 3-3-3 commitment, which, again, I repeat, find me another insurer who can give you that kind of commitment. Find me one insurer in Asia who can give you that commitment. You can buy from us in 3 minutes. We will service you in 3 hours. We'll pay your claims in 3 days. 95% of our claims is paid in 3 days today. We have parametric claim, which means in countries like Vietnam and in Middle East, you could get your travel insurance claim before your flight lands. We also have in Malaysia 2-hour claim for motor comprehensive claims below 3,000 ringgit. So those are some of the disruptions we are doing. Our products are stackable. When we go for RFP, which is why we're winning a lot of digital partnerships today, we've now just started with Fly Arna, an airline in Armenia. We're going to start soon with 2 more airlines, which I'm not going to name. Is when we go for RFP, our message is, tell me the time you want to go live, we can go live. We personally, I'm not being arrogant about it, I'm being very humble about it, but we don't think there is an insurer who can go faster than us in Asia, full stop. And our tech can be deployed across multiple markets. And as I said before, do not look at us as an insurer. We don't have Syria Taka Full's credit life business. We don't have 70 years that Allianz has in the market. We are not an insurer. We're not a traditional insurer. We are an Insurtech. So you should be comparing us with the Lemonades, the Policy Bazaars, the Roots, the Go Digits of the world. That's how we look at things. And I think, finally, we are very ESG focused. We pay 6 ringgit to Yaya Sanchao Kit for every digital policy you buy from us. We have 0 paper across the organization on all in-control processes. We have gender commitments. We have diversity commitments. We don't underwrite coal anymore. We don't do tobacco. And for Gen Z and Gen M, it matters a lot. When we ran a survey, it's very interesting. For my generation, it was largely a nice to have. For the generation younger, it was largely a must have. So times have changed very quickly. And that's why our deep understanding of this customer group. Some of you may ask, the digital insurance license is coming up. We welcome it. But honestly, your digital insurer is already here. You can buy from us, you can service from us, you can claim from us. Tell me one thing you can't do digitally with us. You can do everything that you want. We are a cloud-enabled company. We have the platform. We can talk to the customer. We can sell the customer. We can, service the customer. Fully digital. I don't need any, people or process. Obviously, that's why we are testing the live sandbox, because for us, the idea is we want to test it in the sandbox, thanks to Bank Negara's process. And if we feel the economics stack up, then obviously we will look at a digital insurance process for the life business. If it doesn't stack up, it's one of those projects we had to try. Yeah? Okay, I shall stop there and then take questions.
All right, sorry to interrupt, Rohit. So we have a question from YouTube. With the tech Tune Protect Group have now, would it be viable to launch pet insurance?
We would love to. We already have pet travel in some markets. I was very interested to know in Middle East, actually, people love flying with their pets. Although some of the pet requests are something Norma doesn't underwrite, like Falcon, but we do have pet travel. Pet health is something, it's a function of business case. I don't think a customer comes online looking for pet health. We have to have the distribution to do it, like Oyen does successfully with MSIG. So if any of our distributors here or the distributors outside ask for it, why not? Our tech is easily scalable, and we have the capability to do the product.
Okay, thank you, Rohit. Next, we have an anonymous question on Slido. What is the critical mass of partners to be in Tune's ecosystem? Is there a limit to the number of partners?
As in what? Limit to the number of partners? No, there's no limit, of course. Yeah. If there's a limit, I don't have a job anymore. Yes.
No, but on a lighter note, I think the whole idea of why, let me try to break that question a little bit. In traditional insurers, where even I came from, I remember, Janet and Prasanta have this great chemistry, but I can tell you behind the doors, they're also whacking each other up, right? Sometimes when they have to go live. Sometimes when they challenge each other, I ask Janet, in your previous company, how many partners did you go live in 3 months? She says, on a good quarter, 1 partner. Here, she sometimes goes live with 2 to 3 partners in 2 weeks. And then she says, it's not enough, right? But that's how there's always, men wants are never limited, as they say. It's the same way, it just keeps growing. So coming back to the partnership question, why for us, the size of the partner doesn't matter, is because the tech is there. We just have to deploy it. The products are there. The culture is there. The process is there. We can deploy. Where it gets complex is if you come with a lot of customization and there's no business case, then obviously we will think about executing those. So for us, the size of the partner is not that important. That's why we can innovate stuff. We've had partners where we launched and we only sold 3 policies. Just didn't work, you know. And then we have partners where we ended up selling 400,000 plus policies. So it's very subjective.
All right, thank you, Rohit. Another question on Slido. How are you managing the tech talent crunch?
Prasanta?
Probably that's the most difficult question to answer in today's world. I mean, last 1.5 years, it has been very, very difficult. I guess the tech crunch is across industry vertical. It's not only limited to what we do, but in all industry. Just think of someone, my next door auntie wants to open up a cafe and wants to digitally give that. So you need people to develop that, whether it's a mobile developer, whether it's for data and all, everywhere there is a crunch. We also had gone through it, I would be honest. Some of our projects got delayed because there was the anticipation that we will be able to do it, and people resigning, and to get new people on board was a big challenge. But touch wood, we have overcome that phase. It was a lean phase of 3 to 4 months, beginning of this year. We have overcome it. The good part of it, what I have realized working in tech, you need to give the tech guys new challenges. Right, I mean, they don't want to do same kind of job time and again. They want new challenges, whether it's so thankfully, as an Insurtech and working across geography, we do have those challenges to throw it up to them. And that keeps them excited.
All right, thank you, Prasanta, for that answer. Any more questions from the floor?
There's a hand up there.
Oh, okay. Could you please pass the mic?
Hello, Vincent here from FinTech News Malaysia. So I do have 2 questions, and both of them is linked to your product preview of Pump. I guess the first question is, how does it impact your insurance premiums? And the second question is linked to cybersecurity, right? Because you have a treasure trove of data, or a lot of personal data. Given the increase in data breaches and also a recent case with your associate company of 5 million data leaks, how do you assure users that their data are protected, and what steps are you taking in cybersecurity measures?
Thanks, Vincent. The second question is tougher, so I'll leave it to Prasanta. I'll answer the first one. I think we want to break it down into 3 parts. I'm sure somebody will be thinking, so what's different with our competitors who also, some of them, the large ones, have, you know, health apps and health programs as well. I think the difference here is this was built by Gen Z and millennials for Gen Z and millennials. What do I mean by that? I think our programs will be quite different. When it goes live on 4th, you will see, hey, Vincent, if we notice you slept for 7 hours today, here's a coffee voucher for you to, you know, freshen your day up. Hey, Vincent, we noticed if you are going to do 10,000 steps this Saturday, we're going to give you, you know, something else. So it's kind of in line with today's generation, which is you need instant gratification. Programs that have not worked are programs where you expect very long-term commitments. Very long-term commitments, what typically happens is a very small percentage of customers stay. We have, you know, tried those in the past. You will be surprised to know average steps done by a Malaysian is 3,400. Average steps done by an Indonesian is 2,700. Those are the 2 lowest countries in ASEAN. Okay? Only 3% of Malaysians, this is the data that we had from one of our partners, only 3% of Malaysians do 10,000 steps on their app, average. So if I say, hey, do 10,000 steps, 97% of them are going to say, you guys are joking, you know, how am I going to use this? So obviously we have to make it relevant for that, you know, base. Even in our company, I can tell you there are only 3 people. One of the crazy guys is that guy in the back, Jubin, who does 10,000 steps on an average among all our employees who did the test. It's very difficult to sustain that. So this is why it has to be more shorter term, specific, easy to understand. Don't complicate stuff that you do 20 things, you get a benefit. I think that's the whole engagement philosophy we have in Pump. Of course, we'll have discounts as well, for your purchases. That's something in the e-commerce world is unavoidable. Like today we have with travel insurance, if you purchase early, we give you additional 50%, 15% off. So that's kind of the philosophy of building in. Okay. The fun question, cybersecurity.
So, Rohit, you know this. I mean, I tell Rohit and also to the board, what are the biggest challenges in tech I do foresee. One is talent, another is cybersecurity. Thanks to the audience, both the questions I got it out here. So yeah, I mean, Vincent, to your point, I can always say, yes, we will go by the PDPA law and all, we will follow that. We have put security measures, what we need to do. But all this is said and done as good as till it doesn't get hacked, right? So the biggest challenge is if it happens in case of any eventuality, what is the next step? I guess that's the biggest challenge I do face, and what we want to put security measures is for that. If there's a breach, whether it's a 5 million or 50 million, how do you decide? How do you quickly stop the breach at the very early stage, and you know it, and then you can isolate the network and all. Those are the challenges I constantly work with my team, or even to the external partners, that how do we make the environment much more secure for the customers and give them that confidence, right? But all said and done, whatever I say is okay until there is a hack. So I can only say that yes, we do have put in mechanism, we are running it, and of course, being a cloud-enabled company, we are targeted by external elements much more than the people or the insurers who are much more on-premise and locked down kind of a network, right? But we are up for the challenge. We have taken steps. While even before the pump, also we have those security measures in place. That's why when we select cloud partners, also we do select it very carefully. What are the things which are coming from them, because it works in both hand to hand, whether it's our network, our security plus the cloud provider's security. This much I can say as of now.
Just to add, it is a topic I will tell you as a CEO, I go to bed worrying. Honestly, I don't touch wood. I shouldn't say this. I don't go to bed worrying about where my sales growth is coming from, because this lady finds the sales growth. Okay, she's really good at it. But there's only so much Prasanta can do, because the minute I tell him, can you go heavier, he comes and gives me a budget for $5 million, $20 million, which, I don't know which tree to shake. You just don't have that money. So obviously we do the basics. We have a security 24/7 security operation. We do pen test every time. We do security assessments, compromise assessments. We did it twice this year to just sniff test all our systems if there's something happening in there. If you just go to our security ops center and look at the screen, you'll have a mini heart attack every time, because there's so many people trying to penetrate all the time. And Prasanta tells me, as far as you can see it happening, you should be happy. The day you should be worried is when the lines are not there, means someone already entered your system. So again, the world's dynamically changing, and we'll continue to invest. It's a topic board looks at very closely as well, for sure.
And security is always evolving. I mean, let's make a joke of it that the hackers are always a step ahead of the security companies and all. That's why all security companies have hackers as their part of their plan to see what is the next thing. So we are as good as till the next day it gets hacked. I mean.
Okay, my turn. Is it afternoon? Okay, good afternoon. So I'm Catherine from Enterprise IT News. Rohit, Janet, or Prasanta. So this question is for any of you three. First of all, congratulations on a product like this, because I am a person who likes simplicity, I like convenience, and digital seems to be the way to deliver it, right? So congratulations, because it seems to be shaping up to be something like that. But also at the same time, how do you feel? Can you share your opinion? How do you feel about potentially displacing insurance agents? You know how the traditional method. I got my insurance via the traditional way, right? Meeting an insurance agent and they'll go through the policy with me. They explain everything. They'll explain the fine print, so on and so forth. But now, with buying insurance digitally now, that process is gone. So how do you feel about potentially displacing insurance agents, or are you finding ways to work with them?
We do work with them. Thanks a lot for that question. It's a great question. I actually have a slide on that, but today I didn't have it. Our view is insurance broadly has 3 product groups. There are highly commoditized product groups, which are motor, travel, pet, home kind of products. No emotions there. People buy it, people do comparisons. Our view is these products will largely move to direct to consumer or direct to digital partnerships, okay, through aggregators and the like. Our view, we are educating our agents, our partners that listen, the traditional method, this is on its last leg. It's gone, okay? Today it is in the case in Malaysia, but it is going to happen. Then there is the second group of products, which is what we call super low ticket. They are largely lend itself to frictionless embedded insurance. They are, for example, selling travel insurance with a travel ticket, selling step-up PA with a telco plan, which we do. So we help telcos improve their loyalty by giving them the step-up PA plan, where as the customer increases, we can give them, more benefits. We put consignment insurance with one of the large e-commerce players, where if your good doesn't come to you or it's damaged, we'll cover the goods. We do e-wallet insurance, that if your e-wallet is hacked, we will cover the individual customer for e-wallet. So these are what we call frictionless embedded insurance built into your product, super cheap, largely partnership driven. Agents largely don't distribute this unless they get one big partner and get a commission, but that's more just a relationship. It's largely done through Insurtech and partnerships and direct conversation. However, there's a third group, which is why I've always written about what I call Agency 2.0. There is a whole host of products for which you need advice, where your emotions are involved. If you're buying simple health, you will buy it online. If you're buying complex health products, where people have certain conditions, people have things they have to take care of, you need advice. If you're buying commercial insurance, you're insuring this building, we're talking several millions here, you're not going to do it online. And for those products, you still need advice, which is why what I say is there's a model which is Agency 2.0, which is I do believe that in the future there will be lesser number of agents than today, but those lesser number of agents will be doing more high value business because they will be professionals. They don't need to go and meet people physically. Earlier, you would meet 4 people in a day or 5 people in a day with Malaysia's traffic, parking, etc. In Jakarta, probably it's 1.5 meetings, but that's the struggle you have. But today, in a way, thanks to COVID, but no thanks to COVID, people are ready to do this at home. So you could, video call and do this over Zoom. And a lot of tools are available which integrates into, Google, Zoom, Microsoft, Zoom, etc. And you can do the sale process. So coming back, which is why I believe the productivity of these agents will increase, but they will be more selling high-value products which require advice. There would be some small part of these low-value purely because of relationship, because I know you, you know me, okay, just do my motor renewal. But we do believe that some of these lower-value products will growingly move towards digital channels, but the high-valued products will remain with advisors.
And Rohit, to add to your point, even agents or brokers, they are also digitizing their systems, right? So they can be much more relevant in today's world. So even though they manage their own loyal set of customers, they're also coming back to us that this is our need. This is what I see from a technology standpoint. When I use our B2B platform to distribute and all, I do see they do ask for it. That can I have this, where can I have a microsite where I can sell it to my customers digitally, whereas I manage my customers.
Actually, it's a great point, Prasanta. Did you know that we have 2,500 over travel agencies that use our tech in the Middle East and in parts of, that part of the world? What they do is we have a travel tech platform built by Prasanta. It's called B2B. With the travel tech platform, you can issue policies, you can manage receipting, you can manage invoicing, you can manage the people working in your travel agency, you can add the travel insurance with your ticket, and this whole platform has been developed. We had just launched it in Malaysia now. It was launched in Middle East first. The platform is, that business alone does about 40 million business last year, 40 to 50 million business in that. We launched it in Malaysia this last month. And we're launching it in Thailand in first month of next year. And we will be deploying it in Vietnam, Cambodia, and Indonesia next year. So that's a tech we've developed, so we can go out and deploy it. Again, agents are using it, but we have zero manual involvement. It's fully just plug it in, connect your API into your website or your tool that you use, your ticketing system, and pop, you can issue the policies.
All right, thank you, Rohit and Prasanta. We have 2 more questions on Slido. The first one is, how much did you spend on developing Pump in total?
Wow. Okay, I will answer that in 2 parts, and this surprised the regulator as well. When I went to the regulator for a meeting to talk about my mobile app strategy, they said, wow, your mobile app is pretty interesting. How much would you spend next year? And I told them, to begin with 150K. Most tech players don't like us. You know why? Because we are extremely miserly when it comes to these conversations. You might say 150, what can you do? No, that's how Agile works. So the project team gets 3 months, 150K, a scope, go and execute it. Then come back and ask for more. And we have customer KPIs. So, obviously we track it closely, how many downloads, what kind of customer engagement. You will see in our quarterly results. Again, it's new. We're trying to educate our analysts also that, bottom line is very important, but you have to see how the bottom line will come. How the bottom line will come is we acquire more customers, they stay with us longer, they buy more from us, they promote us. Naturally, our cost of acquisition goes down. Naturally, our business renewal improves, and your bottom line will come true. So coming back to this question, the way we did it was, initially we gave an outlay of 1.5 million over several quarters, and that's the deployment that's been spent. And obviously next year we have another budget kept aside, but it's not rocket science, it's 250K every quarter, that's it. And, but that's how we work. We are a low-cost organization.
Okay, thank you, Rohit, for that. Okay, last question from Slido. Why come up with the Pump app instead of integrating Pump onto the TuneProtect app?
Okay, I think this is a confusion that a lot of people had. I was just speaking to Spiral Thinkers, they thought the same. Pump will be integrated into TuneProtect. We won't have multiple apps. It's just one app, TuneProtect. Everything will go into TuneProtect. It's just one mobile app that people need to download.
So it's not will be integrated, it's actually integrated. So you have to open the TuneProtect mobile app to get into Pump, as Colin mentioned at the beginning while he was doing the demo. Pump is just one feature within the mobile app.
Because remember, today you have Pump, which is health. You obviously have all the motor stuff that we have. We will be having our telematics on there by first quarter. Today we have pay as you drive, but by second quarter, you should have telematics in there as well, a different kind of telematics to pay as you drive. So all of that will be in the same app. The idea here is, for me, as I have explained the vision to a lot of you, like people like David are there in all our quarterly meetings, so you know I have committed to a vision and we're delivering on it. I said we will have health tech, we will have motor tech, so I can do hyper-personalization and hyper-customization, which means Janet here drives well, she takes care of her health, she's going to get a better discount than Prasanta, who drives not so well and probably doesn't take care of his health not so well. So, anyway, it was a joke.
Which is true.
Well, it was true, but I just didn't want to give it away. But anyway, so that's the whole idea. We want to, really use data. We'll use a lot more other data as well. Don't be surprised that, in the same family you could have different prices because obviously your data tells us a lot more. Of course, all this is subject to data privacy standards. I guess that's given that you have to accept to share your data with us for us to do it.
And Rohit, to that point, the more you share your data with us, we'll serve you even better.
Questions from the floor?
All right, we have another question. Oh, okay.
Let's take some from the floor, then this thing. Let's go to the floor.
Morning, gentlemen. Rohit, thank you for this opportunity. David from Spiral Thinker. Rohit, since you touched on the subject just now, so I'm going to shoot this question to you first. So you talk about translating the net promoter score for your customer, right, into your business, into the bottom line. Can you share a little bit more color on that? For example, from my limited understanding, NPS is actually a measure of your customer experience, which by right should translate to the top line and bottom line eventually. But how does the process flow through, right? And do you measure that against your, say, return of investment?
We do. So my chief of staff sitting in the corner is supposed to do that every day, every month. We have a dashboard. So the dashboard basically measures 4 KPIs. The first one is how many customers within my preferred group am I acquiring? So if you look at it, you saw the presentation earlier, it was 1.3, 1.4, 1.5, I think every quarter. So you can see the numbers going up plus or minus. The second we look at is how many products per customer. It went from 1.2-ish to 1.4-ish. So it means our customers buying more products from us. The third we look at is, I think the worrying trend for us is the average premium dropping. Okay, but actually that's partly also because our products are becoming more and more bite-sized. So it may not be necessarily bad, but the question is how can I get more of their wallet? So for example, if my average premium is dropping from 160 to 120-ish, then maybe the product per customer from 1.2 to 1.4 is not enough. We need to go at even more, right? And frankly, we expect the average premium to drop because we are going more and more bite-sized. Then we also measure in terms of how long are they staying with us. Are they buying from us again and again? That KPI is very strong for us, very strong for us. We are seeing customers repeat purchase 5, 7, 10 times with us. Of course, those are travel and PA and home kind of products. Because I think once you buy from us, very unlikely you will go elsewhere because it's so easy to buy. Shinmei is sitting there while in the meeting. She just bought Guard Easy and showed me and said, wow, you guys did it in 2 minutes. I said, this is exactly what we want more people to do with us. Buy it and see. So coming back to how it flows through to top line and bottom line. Top line, you can see the NEP profile coming through. So you're seeing the NEP profile should grow for the company, which means your denominator is going up, which means your combined ratio should get better. Which is what happened this year, without getting too technical, is our growth was too strong, touch wood, over the last 4 quarters for us to take. So when your growth is so high, your commission hits you upfront, your premium you earn over 12 months. And what happened was everybody thought, okay, there's a cycle, don't worry, you will match. Problem is the growth was continuing every quarter, touch wood. So the good and the bad news was because the growth continued every quarter you got hit on expense immediately, but your premium was earning over. But now as each quarter is getting over, that's balancing it off because each quarter will cancel each quarter out. So by Q1, you should see the effect of this high growth weaning off, but of course with the high growth continuing, right, Janet? The second point is on the bottom line. So on the bottom line, the effect will come from this higher earned premium, lower expense ratio, because what we also want to track is our cost of acquisition going down. Today, it isn't going down, for the record. Why is it not going down? There are 2 reasons. One, as we go out of Motor and AirAsia, obviously our commissions are higher, even though they're regulated. Like airline commissions outside Malaysia, because they're not regulated, are quite crazy, right? Even though it's profitable. 2, it's not going up because obviously there's a certain investment that we are putting in for this growth. And some of that investment will balance off as you acquire more. So to your question, we look at 4 KPIs on how it's going into your revenue growth, which is definitely happening. On the bottom line, there are other things remaining constant too. But as you saw on a regularized base, our combined ratio should be below 100%. But today it is not below 100% because our premiums and our expenses have not yet regularized.
Okay, thanks for that. Since you talk about expenses, right, and since this is a tech day, my next question flow back to Prasanta. How is TunePro leveraging on AI, machine learning, to say optimize or bring down the expense ratio? Because I think it is not a secret that since the day we've been covering TuneProtect, combined ratio has been a big issue, right? Are you doing anything on the back end, say predictive analytics, front end, customer?
Yeah, so I gave an example during my presentation on how we are using AI for a dynamic pricing kind of a scenario, which is more to give of maximum yield out of it rather than maximum revenue. So on the AI case, we have partnered with Google, and we are going to take up use case by use case out of it, which makes maximum value for us. I mean, you cannot use AI at scale for every use cases. You have to see the use case which is more relevant for us and then actually work on it. And it also takes a lot of data and all. So we have started that journey. We have tried in one part of it. We have seen good output around it. But we will take up this one also at some point of time.
So this dynamic pricing, is it a flow through from the dynamic pricing that was started, say, 2 years ago?
Yes. So that one, when we started, it was more of rule-based. Now it is more AI-based because you have more data of it, right? Unfortunately, due to COVID, again, the data set has come down because people were not flying, right?
Yeah.
So the more you have data, you can fine-tune it, whether you were using at the back end a Bayesian model or a Thompson sampling, whatever those modeling you use at the back end, that can only work with a large set of data and see which data you will getting the effective value out of it.
Okay. On that note, is parametric insurance something that TuneProtect is looking at as well?
Yes, so parametric, as I mentioned in my presentation, we have made it live in Vietnam, right? Now, and Middle East also. So what we do, we need to get the flight data. So if a third party which provides the flight data from point A to point B, the flight is delayed, and we work with the insurer who's fronting it out there in the market, says that, okay, this much you can pay out, we immediately, and we know if you have used a digital wallet to buy, then we know. If it is not, if you are not using your digital wallet and you have used your credit card or you have bought through any other channels, which is a manual one, we will probably send you, okay, you are eligible for a claim with a short, tiny URL kind of a thing through an SMS or something. But if we know the digital wallet and you have all the details, based on the agreement with the business partner, we will credit you back immediately.
Okay, this is where tech and commercial are two different conversations. I have to tell you a frank answer. You might ask me, why is AirAsia not having this? Okay? The claims ratio will spike. Because one of the reasons why travel claims are low is people don't know they have to claim. I hate saying this, but it's a fact. So the conversation we're having at AirAsia now is this a benefit the customer will pay for? Because the claims did spike in Vietnam, so we had to reprice it, right? It's a great benefit, so we repriced it. That's a different conversation. Or we change the benefit, whichever way. So we're having two conversations. Either we reprice or we re-benefit, which means a customer who's opting for parametric will only get 50% of the claim.
Okay.
I'm just saying as an example. We haven't got an answer.
Fair.
I'm just saying, so that conversation is happening. That's why we haven't launched it in Malaysia as yet, or Thailand, because I can't touch my pearl at this point in time.
Understood.
And my claims incident can go from 3% to 20 times over.
Exactly.
So that's why this will be something we will look at launching, but it will be a benefit or at a cost.
Okay, thanks for that. Now,
just coming back to your earlier question on AI, I just got an answer from my team. So we have this year saved 70,000 hours of man hours using RPA and AI. which converts roughly into 45 FTEs. Okay?
45?
FTEs, or full-time employees, which we didn't hire, which we would have had to hire with the growth we had.
So that is for the automation part, right? Thanks for that. Now, Rohit.
Because the RP also at the back end works, at the back end uses AI, right?
So that is more for predictive analytics, right? Okay, thanks for that. Rohit, last question, floor back to you. Sorry, Janet, I will let you next time. You touched on the four KPIs, and the last one being how long the customer stays with TunePro, right? And I tie back to your presentation earlier that you say that currently TunePro is keeping 70% of the business. And how do I make sense of this, knowing that a big bulk of the business comes from the travel, and we know that travel insurance is not sticky?
Oh, it's very sticky. Because once they find how easy we are to buy, they just come back and buy from us.
So you can cross-sell different products to...
Which is what the 1.44 is talking about, which is where we have to push it out. So the question is how much more motor, home, PA, now with our life business, can we cross-sell, upsell to this travel base, which we weren't doing earlier. So that's the whole point of this exercise.
So we had this conversation last time, initially when we met, how can TunePro tap into AirAsia's 75 million over customers, right? Is there any C2C kind of...
So there's two things happening. One, you might, I don't know if you're a big pay user. If you are...
I used to be.
Okay.
To be honest.
If you're a big pay user now, well, one thing for big pay is I travel a lot, so I can tell you, I simply don't get the rates that big pay gets for me.
True.
It's a fact. But anyway, coming back to the point. If you were a big pay user, you would have got an email, app notification, everything saying buy travel insurance from buy motor insurance from TuneProtect. If you switch, you get e-wallet voucher, credit back to them. So what Big Pay did was they said, don't give us the money, give it back to the customers, e-wallet credit, because they will spend and we will increase. So we actually are doing these campaigns. On AA as well, we will start these campaigns. That's a work that's underway. Because obviously AA has many priorities we need to find out. So we've started with Big Pay now. Obviously there are other projects with AA we are doing. So the ride hailing one is a big piece. We are ensuring their ride drivers. Obviously the food business, teleport business. So we leverage that a lot. And obviously on AA, every new package they launch, like AA Holiday, AA Super Plus, we provide the insurance with it as well. So definitely AirAsia is a huge, gold mine of opportunity for us, which we are, looking to how we can grow even further, for sure.
Okay, thanks for answering my questions.
I think this year, as you know, the number of flights weren't at the level we all predicted it to be. At the beginning of the year. So that's why...
But it is picking up.
It's picking up, precisely. So next year is a completely different story. In fact, the next year internal projections are quite scary.
In fact, your big boss painted a very rosy picture over the weekend in one of the investment conference. So
I can tell you internal projections are extremely rosy from AirAsia to us. So obviously if that happens, we're all going to be quite happy. But again, we'll have to see how the world pans out.
All right, looking forward to that. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Okay, thank you so much. We have a question from YouTube. Would TuneProtect Group consider to launch weather insurance for outdoor events like concert in open air stadium?
Very difficult question. I think I'll have to ask the expert to answer it. Norma or Wu, who wants to take it? Norma or Wu? One of you have to take it. Norma is gone, so it has to be Wu. Come. Okay, Wu is our head of underwriting and a few other areas within the reinsurance business.
Okay, thanks for that questions. So yes, whether index insurance or parametric is something we are exploring. So we're talking to a few players who can share with us the real-time weather data. But for the specific events, we might not really looking at this moment, because the nature of the risk is that it's quite risky, and it's if we talk about the specific events, the accumulations of the risk is considered quite high. So we prefer for the risks that can be spread out, even though it can be related to the weather. So in general, parametrics not only limited to the weather is something we're exploring, but whether we do that for the specific events or not is something we need to discuss more. We prefer a more widespread of the risks because it's net cat in nature. Yeah.
I guess the summary is we don't like the business.
Okay.
You know, we look at it on a case-to-case basis. Thank you.
Yeah, that's true.
All right. Thank you both, Rohit and Vu. Last question. We have time for one last question.
I think there's somebody with the
Okay,
hand up.
we have time for one last question.
No, I think from the floor, if there are questions we are around, we can always answer it.
Good afternoon. My name is Surya. I'm from Kearney. First of all, like amazing work that you guys are doing. We talk a lot with the CXOs, and at the board level, whenever there's a conversation on digital insurer, like your name definitely comes up. So for me, it's a bit of a forward-looking question, especially for the tech business that you're looking to build. How important do you see this tech business being also linked to your core insurance business as well? And the reason why I'm asking is, see, there's a lot of tech players which are available in the market, right? But one of the unique proposition that you guys have is not just a tech business, but a very solid understanding of insurance as a business as well, which can be an offer to your clients as well. And that's what a lot of clients are looking for. They're just not looking for a tech solution provider. So again, how do you kind of balance this out? And inherently, there will always be a conflict of interest as well in this as well, right? So, yeah.
It's a great question, actually. It's a strategic conversation I had even in the board 2 weeks back, where the board was asking me this question. I'll broadly break it down into 3 parts. We are a product company from a tech perspective. So sometimes we have requests from partners to say, hey, we don't even know how to do our website. Can you help us? And we are like, we're not the ones who are going to do a website for you. We're a product company. We can give you a Mars, which you saw as the platform, or White Cube as they call it now, which is a platform which gives you API, product configurator, e-claims, blah, blah, blah. Anything outside of it, we don't claim to know, or we don't want to do it. So in this case, what happened in Middle East when we had these requests, we built a panel of website companies. And when the partner comes and says, I don't have the capability, so for example, travel agency is very common, because they're very small, you know, they don't have the capability. And then what we say, okay, you use any of these panel, up to you, because those panels know how to integrate our API very easy. So we don't go out of anything we don't know. So we will always remain a product company, which means we will charge customers based on GWP or policy fee. So today, for example, we charge for a travel policy in the Middle East anywhere between 60 to 70 cents US dollar per policy for the tech we provide them. The second thing is what they develop will be what the vision of TuneProtect is. So the idea is the synergies come from the fact that TuneProtect wants to be a lifestyle insurer that everyone loves. And we believe there's a market out there for many others to be this, and we can't be everywhere. So with our tech that's being developed, we can then reuse. What essentially happened, the beauty was, how was travel B2B developed? Travel B2B was developed because in the Middle East, we found so many travel agencies. It's still a little old school. They have lots of travel agencies. They're saying, oh, we have to go to a website and buy travel insurance. Or we have to manually issue. And we said, what? We'll solve this problem for you. So a lot of our solutions come from that. Our API marketplace came because, hey, 60 partners, if she doesn't have an API marketplace, how is she going to open this up? So that's how we've developed our tech. It's always off the back of TuneProtect, and then you spin it off where it can become a business on its own. The third one, in terms of technology investment, the way I look at it is, our focus is A, to develop the insurance business, B, to deploy this tech across multiple markets so we can find the economies of scale which we can put back into the business. Having said that, we also measure white label at two levels. One, we measure white label as at speed of execution, delivery, etc. for the group. But we also look at how many clients outside the group are starting to use this. How are they using it? What are they using it for? And that's the key part of the conversation we always have. So tech is the center of our differentiation, but we are also very clear to say we are a insurance product tech company. A lot of the investment that goes into pure white label, not Tune Protect, is more on the infrastructure side. Things like cloud, things like security. Of course, you could say Tune Protect benefits from it, but because of the scalability that they need, because, for example, we have roughly 8 to 10 million policies we issue in a year, but there are conversations happening where this could double. Obviously, for me, it doesn't matter, because I'm saying as far as you can scale up to 12 million, 15 million, I'm okay. But Prasanta comes back to me and says, no, I have to potentially scale up to 30 million or 50 million. So that's where the conversation, for example, with Google helps us, because can we scale up and how fast can we scale up? So the infrastructure side, there is a separate conversation that happens.
I also would like to add a few points. Rohit, what you mentioned, it's all about synergy. We are not doing something which is not our. We have built something which has worked for Tune Protect entities. If it has worked for us, it will work for the outside world, because the challenges are kind of similar from where we have came out to be a digital insurer out here. When I go to the market in Middle East or Southeast Asia, the markets we are focusing in, they're going through the same challenges. And that's where we go out and say that, okay, don't spend money on doing a core system transformation which can run for multiple years, multi-million dollar you will spend. You want to distribute product, we can help you to distribute. You want to build product, we can help you to build. And it can go across product classes. It's not only on travel, it goes in other areas. And currently we are doing it on travel, but we want to leverage those partnerships what we already have into non-travel areas. That's why we want to scale the platform also. That's where the partnership with Google comes into play, where we're modernizing the software engineering part, moving into Flutter Flow and all to distribute non-travel products also.
Thank you, Rohit and Prasanta. Any more questions from the floor?
Is there any online question?
We have one more online question. Okay. All right. So our last question for today: if unfortunately there is a data breach happen, how much would Tune Protect be fined in a worst case scenario?
Well, that's a regulatory question. I wouldn't have the answer to that. There are some definitions, of course, in Bank Negara and other places, but I don't think that's an answer I can give now. I hope we don't go to that situation in the world we live in, but I don't have the answer to that question. It really is a regulatory decision. It's not a, I can't go and tell the regulator this is how you should fine me, right? So it's a regulatory decision. But on our side, we will do everything we have to protect our data.
When it's a regulatory country to country, it will vary. So in Malaysia, it is Bank Negara, while we operate in Thailand, it's OIC. So everyone has their own regulation.
And I think the complexity also to the earlier question you asked on the infrastructure for tech people who look at us. Like for example, now we're doing a major deployment in Saudi with the largest travel agency there. When we say largest, they dominate the market, right? Completely dominate the market with the biggest travel player there. The problem is Saudi regulation, not problem, sorry. The requirement is Saudi regulation requires we have to convert ours into a local cloud instance in Saudi Arabia. So now over the next 3 to 4 months, Prasanta has to take all that he's created and put it into a local cloud in Saudi, complying to the local regulations. So each countries also have different regulatory requirements that we have to follow.
All right. I think that is all. Those are all questions that we have today. Thank you very much, Rohit, Prasanta, and Janet.
I just want to say that if you have any questions, you want to have a conversation, we are all around. not just the three of us, there are a few others in the room as well. Jubin, the CEO of our Malaysia business, is here. Don't know where he is. Norma, the CEO of our reinsurance business, is here. Our teams are here as well. So feel free to speak to any of us, and we're happy to take you through what we do. Thank you.
Thank you, Rohit.
Thank you.
As mentioned by Rohit earlier, feel free to approach any of our crew members and team if you wish to have a more intimate conversation outside later during lunch. All right, before we adjourn for lunch, just next door, could I kindly request for your help to complete this short survey to get your thoughts on today's event? Your feedback could help us better improve our future events. The QR code to the survey is currently shown on the screen, so just scan the QR code and enter your thoughts. Thank you. Another gentle reminder to get your tickets validated at the concierge office before leaving to enjoy the flat rate of 5 ringgit. And on behalf of Tune Protect Group, I would like to thank you all for attending our corporate day today. Not forgetting those who are viewing us online, thank you all for tuning in. My name is Nina, and until next time.
Thank you.